Episode 17 of Fork This City. We have a really good one today. We start in the East Village with Justin Saltbread, which is blowing up right now. It's this Korean style, super light, super buttery, crispy on the bottom, like hybrid between croissant and milk bread. We head to it to see if it's actually worth the hype. Then Gabby, not myself, hits COTE, one of the most popular Korean steakhouses in the city. Michelin star, great vibe, high expectations. We get into what stood out and if it really lives up to everything people say. And then we sit down with Nate from Brown Bag Sandwich Company and get into the art of the sandwich. What makes a sandwich great, where most places mess up, and why it's harder to do right than people think. Episode 17, let's get into it. I'm your host, Josh Einbinder, joined alongside the one, the only, Gabby Martin. Gabby, how's it hanging?
What a beautiful introduction. That was really good. This is actually going to be a really positive episode, I think, today.
It
Yes,
will be.
maybe the service here and there will take some hits, but I think overall we got a lot of positive things to say today, which is so refreshing, I think.
I agree. I completely agree. Very refreshing.
Okay, so let's start with Justin Saltbread. So I know we referenced this in the last episode that I created an East Village food tour where we hopped around to a lot of different places. Justin Saltbread was definitely on this list. I don't even know. I think we talk about the line before the food. Okay.
I agree.
So on TikTok, it is very evident that the lines could be super long. So we weren't going into this thinking that it was going to be empty by any means, but it is springtime. The weather is above 60. People are doing what they do best, which is getting on lines.
Yeah, and the line was like moderately long. I would say what we waited like 20 minutes outside.
No, so we actually only waited 15 minutes to get to the front end order. So this is where it begins. So we got online super quickly. It moved, and then you order on a screen, which I know we have feelings about.
I
So
do.
I don't even know how to break this down. We were with someone else. My cousin Kelsey ordered separately from us because she wanted her own. She didn't want to share. She goes first, orders a single salt bread. I don't know how to explain it. You need to look it up. It's like a roll. Looks like a croissant in a sense. It's literally just an airy bread with butter and salt. Kind of like a pretzel, but not. So Kelsey orders it and she gets it within 30 seconds. So we're like, this place is great. Love it. So then Josh and I go up and I order for the rest of the group and we got like a box to share. Well, they ran out of salt bread. Kelsey got the last one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I want to back it up a little bit because
Okay.
not only is the counter self-service, but I actually think that's what slows down the line. So a big
I
issue for
agree.
me is I don't know if they always anticipate the long lines, but at this current point where they are as a business, you need to have people manning the line because like you and I, when we ordered, and I saw other people order, like they take their sweet time, they're looking through the options, and that just
Yeah.
slows it down. When you have so many people waiting to get in, I just think, first of all, not acceptable. Not like a critique. I thought the bread, and we'll get into it, was good, but that's my first thing. The second thing is, it's literally called Justin Salt Bread. So when Kelsey got her piece of bread, and then we had to wait like another 10 minutes maybe
It
for
was
it,
more than that.
I just what are you guys doing? Like you should always be churning it out, especially in the morning. It was like 12:30, but like nonetheless, like from 10 a.m. or from open till like 2 p.m., you should be churning it out. There should never be any lulls or periods where you have to wait and hold people off 15 minutes to make new ones. So already my experience was frustrating. I was like, ugh, like I'm waiting for bread. Like that was just like all I could think about was I can't believe I'm waiting in line for bread, and this better be the best damn bread I've had in my life.
It was good though. We'll get to that. It's just annoying because Kelsey got it right away. So
Hmm.
we thought we would too, as we were the people ordering right behind her. But I think that's where the problem with the self-service comes in, is that I typically think when bakeries are doing the right thing, they'll say to you, like, hey, we have a fresh batch coming, but it's going to be 10 to 15 minutes. Are you okay with that? And you
Hmm.
want to know what? We actually would have said yes. But instead, radio silence for like 15 minutes once we just ordered and we were so confused and no one was even saying anything. So we were like, how long is it going to be? We were just a little stressed out, but it took
Yeah.
about 15 minutes. So we were nice. We told Kelsey to eat hers because you want to eat it while it's still fresh. But to be positive, we did get the first few um, salt breads of the fresh new batch.
We did, and I guess this is when we should really dive into it. I thought the bread itself was really good. Um,
Delicious.
it's a hybrid, like you said, like croissant and bread, but it tasted a little bit like Auntie Anne's pretzels,
It
kind
gives
of.
pretzel vibes, but it's not as, I don't know, it doesn't have the taste of the pretzel there, but it's butter and salt.
But what I will say is I thought the weirdest pairing was the sauces that it came with. We got the chocolate sauce, and I did Kelsey get something else, or did we get two
It's like
sauces?
you could get chocolate or regular foam.
It does
We did
not
both.
pair well with the chocolate sauce. Like
It
it just
doesn't pair with either of the sauces, in my opinion. It's like whipped cream in texture, but
yeah.
I'm going to defend them a little bit. Those, they're foams. Those foams are actually more for their coffees and matchas. So those foams go on top, and I imagine those foams on top of a latte are delicious because I am a
Mm.
cold foam girl. I love my coffee and I get cold foam a lot. So I think they were trying to be creative in serving it as a side for the bread, but I think it should just stay on the coffee and matcha.
Yeah. And overall, like we tried the bread. I really was like, wow, this is delicious. But again, my philosophy is like it's just not worth waiting online. I assume it'll be like the Corona eventually. Shout out to Dominique and Sel. Eventually, you'll be able to go. There won't be a line, and you can just try it yourself. Again, like delicious. Really enjoyed it. Not worth waiting in line. Don't use the sauces. Just eat it plain, raw dog it, and you'll enjoy it.
I think my advice would be just to go on a weekday, and I think it'll probably be rather empty. So it's worth it. Like I actually do recommend it. And if there was no line, I would definitely want it. Good thing I don't live near it because I feel like I would go. And just one more comment about the cold foams. It's like think about dipping a pretzel in cold foam. You would never do that, right? Auntie Anne's
No.
isn't serving sauces or foam on the side of their pretzels. Like they could stand alone, which is good. It doesn't need a sauce to elevate the taste.
Mm, good point. That's true. I like the vibe inside. Like everyone had their shoes off if you were sitting in there, which I thought was super interesting, but very like not. What I liked about that is it's just not American, obviously, but I like that. Like it was different. It was unique. So
You like that? Like you could sit in the back, like kind of like you can at an Asian restaurant and you take
yeah,
your
it,
shoes
it
off.
felt like we weren't in America when you look back there, and I thought that was unique. I feel like whenever I
Huh.
go into different spots in this city, I'm like, I know where I am.
But
So
mind you, there were no tables, so we didn't get to sit.
yeah.
Just saying. But it was so nice out. We ate it outside anyway. My only complaint is like it could smell like feet in there because they're not like closed off tables, just like a big open room with barefoot people. And
Mm.
hygiene's important, but I get that people want to do it. Please don't cancel me for this comment. This is my opinion. I feel it coming. Don't make a
TikTok.
clip of this.
We know TikTok's. I won't. TikTok's a harsh place.
Yeah. I don't even think we should give them energy anymore, though. Like, we're not even going to talk about our hate comments unless we get a really good one. So, if you want to hate, you got to really make it stand out if you want to be mentioned. I think we're over that.
Yeah.
Yeah, be nicer, but that's all we're going to say about that. Then I'm going to talk about COTE because typically this podcast is for when we go to the same place, and it's going to continue to be like that. But I invited Josh to come and he declined. And this is an establishment, right? Just like you guys said, FICO was an establishment, Cote is an establishment. Are you still not eating red meat? Because I saw a picture you posted of a burger the other day. Just
I
saying.
did get a burger the other night, but
Well, I hate that.
I am trying to avoid red meat as much as I can.
If you, that's frustrating because Cote is like if you're gonna break the no red meat, it is the place. This is
I
an
know.
establishment. Like you should regret not coming with me. So
Well,
shout out
I,
Elliot from last episode from Snag. He got me the res.
I used to live over there, and whenever I'd walk past it, it smelled brilliant, like amazing every time I'd walk past.
It is a top three meal for me in New York City. Like
Mm.
maybe number one. Like I've always been
That's
a steak.
crazy, by the way. Like I didn't try it, but like I don't think I've ever heard someone say Coat is number one. This kind of adds to your hot takes, like Lapacora. Like this is
No,
like
this makes more sense to people. People won't be. This isn't a hot take. It's a top three meal in my opinion in New York City. But I am a steak lover. Like for your birthday, when you want to do a birthday dinner with family, like I feel like you're getting Chinese food.
me, yeah.
I'm going to a steakhouse. And that's the difference between
The
us.
the thing is, I feel like with steak, not Cote, because I know Cote's much more
It's
unique.
different.
But I feel like with steakhouses, like you could go to a steakhouse here, you could go to one in Omaha, Nebraska, which is actually known for their steaks, or you could go to one in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It doesn't matter where, you're gonna get the same experience virtually, like a good cut of meat, the same sides. Like there's not a lot of,
Yeah, this is
but
different.
yeah, yeah, obviously it's different, but steakhouses in general to me are the same pretty much wherever you go.
Okay, fair, but I love steak, so whatever. So when you get there, you get seated. It looks like a Korean barbecue table. I don't know if you knew that. So you're sitting in front of the I don't grill. I don't know what it really is. So
Mm.
they make everything for you. So you're not actually doing any of the cooking. And what I got, which everyone should get, I think most people get it when they go, is something called the Butcher's Feast. It's $82 a person. And honestly, for the amount of food you get, is a steal. Like, it should be more expensive, but I'm not going to complain about that. So basically, you get I looked on the website, it just says four selected cuts with Korean accompaniments. So essentially, I don't even know what the four cuts are, but I posted a picture. It's on Fork the City, and it's just four different cuts. And basically, the service spectacular, water refills on point. I drink so much water. And basically your waiter or waitress comes, will cook the steak for you. So like puts it on the grill, will walk away. So like they're not overbearing. And then I guess they set a timer and then they come back. And then when they come back, they cut it up for you depending on the amount of people there. And then they serve you each like a few bites of the steak.
Mm.
And then they'll leave you alone. So it's paced out like brilliantly. So then they'll let you eat that for like 10 minutes and then they come and they put the next one. So as they're doing that, you're getting a bunch of sides. They're not unlimited because a lot of people actually ask me that. Like if you finish one, they don't refill it. But I honestly, you get pickled vegetables, you get a scallion salad, you get a red leaf lettuce thing, which that's the one thing I didn't eat. You get an egg souffle, which we all thought was amazing. You get two different stews, kind of like curry soup and rice. And then at the end, you get a vanilla soft serve. So
Mm.
it is a spectacular meal. These sides are to die for. They sound a little out there for a picky eater. They're all delicious. It's a Michelin star restaurant,
Yeah.
but the steak is just insane. And then they give you sauces that you can dip the steak in. And then they also give you lettuce wraps because they recommend for some of the cuts to actually make a lettuce wrap with like a few of the salads, the steak, and the sauce. I prefer it plain if I'm going to be honest, but it is cool that they recommend doing that for some of them.
Mm.
And overall, I think this is just like a place everyone needs to try at least once if they eat meat because it's truly elevated Korean barbecue, a Korean steakhouse, and
Yeah.
you should really regret not coming with me because it's a hard reservation to get.
I don't regret not coming, but
You should.
I do want to get there. It's on my list.
And you had the chance.
I did have the chance, but instead I went to Lilia that night, so don't feel
Mm,
too bad for me. I love that restaurant.
I feel bad for you because I think Lilia is mid and Cote is better. Like Cote versus Lilia is not
I
even
just don't
that.
understand. I don't know if that's possible because to me, coat like I'm sure it's great, but it's steak at the end of the day. So it's like
Why
how
are you
good
like
can a cut of
downgrading
steak?
like steak, pasta? Like, are we being for real?
I don't know. I
You
don't
think
know.
pasta's above steak?
I'm not saying it's above steak, but I'm saying pasta can be more unique from a flavor profile perspective than steak. There are only so many ways you can make a steak.
That's because it's so good, they have not needed to discover other ways to serve it.
Good point.
And I stand by that. I will say, if I'm gonna be nitpicky, didn't love the fourth steak. Um, the first three, the first one is kind of like reminds me of filet. Honestly, the first three remind me of filet, juicy. I know it's not filet. The fourth one is called dessert steak. Have you ever gone to Korean barbecue and it's what's like, oh my God, I can't think of it. When you get chicken or steak and there's like the sweet sauce on it.
Hmm.
What is that called?
I'm not sure. I haven't had Korean barbecue in over a year. I went to Let's Meat in K-Town. Very good.
Oh my God, that's gonna bother me. It's like a sweeter sauce on it, whatever. So basically, the dessert one is a fattier cut with a sweeter sauce. It's not that filet vibes. It's more of the Korean barbecue, which I actually really like, but it just wasn't the vibe for me. I liked the other cuts better, but it was
Mm.
all amazing. The last one gets a 9 out of 10 if we're being picky.
Well, it does sound like it was a good experience. I will get there. I
And
will
then the
indeed get there.
vanilla, it wasn't vanilla soft serve. I think it was actually, it might have been vanilla with like a tahini caramel sauce on it. So it was delicious. So shout out to Jessie, aka J Dog. This was a week before her wedding. So I was just so full from this meal that I had a few bites of mine. She finished hers. She's like, "Can I have yours?" I'm like, "Sure thing." Eats mine. So she ate two. Then Jamie also is there, Josh's sister, only took one bite because like this meal is decadent. And J Dog's like, "Can I have yours?" That girl downed three of these vanilla soft serves. And if you know Jessie, that girl's in good shape. So just shout out to Jessie for downing three of those ice creams.
And congratulations to Jessie on her recent nuptials.
And her wedding food was insane. She had cafe pana there, obviously.
We are going to wrap today's episode up with Nate from Brown Bag Sandwich Company. He's going to dive into the art of the sandwich, how Brown Bag makes their famous Caesar sandwiches, their Caesar wraps, excuse me, and everything about running a business in New York.
Tell us a little bit about Brown Bag Sandwich Company and specifically this location. This is the second location. We're on 22nd and 6th Avenue.
So a little bit about this location. This is the second location. Our flagship location is at Thompson Street over by NYU. We opened up this location in October, so we've been operational for just a couple months now. Chef did a really good job though with publicity opening this place. We've had a lot of food, people from the industry in, reviewers, people from Eater, People Magazine, and BuzzFeed just did a thing on us just recently, and Bon Appetit as well did a great YouTube video on us. So things like this are really helping us get the word out there. We really make some really, really great sandwiches here. We do lots of chopped cheeses. All the sandwiches here we do are chopped. Some of our biggest sellers are the Caesar that you guys got to enjoy, the spicy chicken cutlet. We have three versions of a chopped cheese. Of course, naturally, the original chopped cheese is like the homage that we pay towards like the original New York City bodegas and whatnot. Right. And so it's all about just kind of paying homage to kind of the sandwich industry that New York City is known for.
I was gonna say, you guys have gotten a lot of hype.
Yeah.
How did you guys do that? Like I've heard about you guys since you opened. Like I've seen it on all the social media platforms. It's really impressive.
So Chef did a really good job with outsourcing, and Jilly as well. So those are the two main.
That's who I talked to.
Yeah, exactly. So those are the two main partners, Jilly and Chef Antonio, and they did a lot of outsourcing to like production companies and whatnot, to help them really kind of get the word out, to kind of spread the word to the masses. And ever since then, well, mainly really like social media has done us a huge proper introduction into like moving into the spring and summertime. Yeah. A lot more people are going to be outside and whatnot. So we're prepping up for like what's going to be like a busy spring/summertime, we're hoping. Mm-hmm. And it's all about connections, right? They know the right people at the right places. And all the videos and stuff that people have been taking, and the publicity on social media just from regular customers coming in and posting and tagging us and whatnot has really helped us get the word out as well.
What's your favorite sandwich here?
Man, my favorite sandwich has got to be the Italian. Yeah, the Italian's kind of like a classic go-to. Like I love like proper, with like capicola and soppressata and pastrami and stuff like that layered. But it wasn't until like I started working here that I actually had like a chopped Italian sandwich.
I've never had a chopped Italian sandwich before.
And it's like, it's just amazing. We have this great like Italian dressing that we put on it. Everything goes on to like a tray. We chop it all together right there in person and then throw it on a sandwich, sell it. That's my favorite thing.
Random question, but have you heard of Vinny's from like Florida, the famous like TikTok chicken Caesar salad?
No, actually.
Okay, you should look that up. But essentially their whole thing is they chop it super thin and they wrap it, and like it's huge, and it's very similar to this, a little different. It's a lot bigger, but they are very into like the chopping, and that's what like the big thing is that gets people to come in. I was gonna ask, what do you use to chop it?
So we have like so what would normally be called like a I forget the name for it. It's like a dough cutter almost. So like like a wood handle. It's got a metal piece on it like this. So we have a bunch of those, like whether it be the chopped cheese, the ground beef, and everything. We take that, chop with that. The Italian sandwiches, everything on Cold Station. We use the same type of mechanism to chop it. If we have really big caterings and stuff, we'll just take a big bowl, portion everything out, and then just use a pizza cutter. Yeah, just use a pizza cutter. And
you nailed what I was going to say. So at this place I'm talking about in Florida, they do pizza cutters. So I was curious how you guys did it.
Same type of idea. Same type of idea as far as the like functionality of like just what makes it easier to make it like specifically chopped.
So what I was going to ask is, what do you think makes, for example, your Caesar sandwich stand out compared to one like Glen, which, obviously New York City is a very competitive sandwich scene.
Naturally.
So I'd love to kind of get your thoughts on not just the Caesar, but all the other sandwiches, like besides the chopped aspect, what really makes them stand out?
So I think one of the main things, let's start with the Caesar. Like for instance, I mean, you could go anywhere in the city. You go anywhere in the city and you grab a Caesar salad. Delicious variations of a Caesar salad anywhere, right? At a lot of restaurants. But I think what makes us kind of stand out here is like, at least for myself, typically when I think of a Caesar wrap, I think of something that's like maybe, like mediocre size, something small, right? But what makes us stand out here is not only the high quality ingredients that we put into the Caesar salad itself, but the way that we perform making it. Like we give it love and flavor and everything that makes a Caesar, and we load it up. So we do like the big, giant. We want it to be worth people's money, because like our philosophy, I feel like, is how many times have you seen, you go to a place, you buy a salad or something, and the portion is like maybe 16, 32 ounces or something like that. And it's like you're paying $22, $23 or something like that. With this, you're getting literally like a full whole bowl of a Caesar salad just in one big wrap for $18, and you can't really beat that. No. You can't beat that. So that's kind of what helps us stand out with our Caesar salad.
And same with the chopped cheese. I was going to say that was amazing. That is probably one of my favorite sandwiches of all time. It's so classic New York, the chopped cheese.
Yeah.
But my question I had for you is, what are kind of some of the challenges of running a restaurant, a shop like this? Every day I'm sure you see a lot of traffic, peak times, maybe some valleys. Like lunch, I'm sure is very busy. Maybe like the 3-4 o'clock rush, it might not be as busy. Just curious to hear your take on all the challenges that you might face.
So challenges, I mean, being in the service industry and being whether it be being a chef in a proper full service kitchen, or even a turn and burn place like sandwiches and stuff, every day comes with different challenges, right? Like for instance, like this morning, like we started out with like bare minimum Italian mix, right? And that's obviously something that we go into knowing like, okay, that's going to be 911. Our prep team, we have to explain to them, let them know, hey, let's jump on this first, because depending on how business is, we plan on it being busy every day, and it has its periods. Weekends are usually a little bit slower, but we like to be sure that we have everything buffed up and ready to rock and roll. So like for instance, that's a challenge, like 911s, getting things done last minute before service so that we have everything ready to rock and roll 100%. Call outs and things like that, or people being late or tardy. I mean, that's just kind of like a normal
the restaurant industry.
The restaurant industry, yeah, exactly.
I worked at Pokeworks when I was 19.
so you
Horrible experience.
Like there are just so many sandwich places that pop up. I mean, it's got to be really hard to like be in a competitive space with them. But I guess what's good about Brown Bag is you're very well established already at this point in New York. I feel like I was talking about it in the office the other day. Like this is, people know this place, people know the name.
Since you mentioned Chipotle's starting to do this thing with like sandwiches and stuff like that, honestly, I think Chipotle should just stick with what they know. Getting into this type of a business, in my opinion, like being already established as Chipotle is, multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that it is, great food. And I understand wanting to try to like do something new and get into like a new aspect of something, but it's not necessarily always the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Because you got to think not only places like Brown Bag, got to throw that out there, but other bodegas and stuff like that have been doing this for decades. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
People who want to jump into this industry are going to have a lot of competition. I advise personally against it unless you're going to be just like strictly starting something new, not taking something like Chipotle and then starting a sandwich concept. Sure, it'll kind of pop off at first because people are going to be like, oh, I know Chipotle. Their stuff is good. Let's go check them out and see what it's about.
Yeah.
But again, man, like you're going up against places like bodegas and places like this and other delicious sandwich shops.
I feel like sustainability is just the name of the game. Like,
exactly.
Something that's sustainable. And
Sustainability,
and
for
something
sure.
like this is more sustainable too. I don't want to take up any more of your time
No,
because
you're good.
it's freezing cold. But Nate, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Just an incredible sandwich, an incredible
Yeah,
experience.
thank
So
you
we
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Of course. Absolutely, guys.
We want to thank Nate and Brown Bag Sandwich Company for the interview. Such a great experience. So great trying all their sandwiches. This has been another episode of Fork This City. You can follow us on Instagram at Fork This City Pod, on TikTok at Fork This City. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. For episode 17, I'm Josh Einbinder, joined alongside Gabby Martin. Gabby, episode 17, that's kind of wild.
Guys, we're not going anywhere. So see you later, mother forkers. We will be back next week. Bye.